Our next story is about Italy. Their foreign minister, Antonio Tajani, is currently in China, and on top of his agenda is the BRI, China's Belt and Road Initiative. It was once hailed as Chinese President Xi Jinping's project of the century, but in recent times, it has become the road to nowhere, belt and roadblocks. That's what it's called. And now Italy wants out. In 2019, it became the first member of the European Union and the only G7 nation to join China's BRI. 4 years have passed since. The pact expires in December this year, and Italy does not plan to renew it. What does it mean for their relationship with China and for Xi Jinping's dream project? Our next report tells you.
In 2019, Italy angered the US and Europe. It did the unexpected. Italy became the first European Union member and the only G7 state to join the Belt and Road Initiative. This is a Chinese scheme. It envisions rebuilding the old Silk Road by connecting China with mainly Asia and Europe. Under this scheme, China has financed and built vast amounts of infrastructure, like power plants, railways, highways, and ports. Countries that joined the scheme saw it as a tool to increase investment, to boost their exports. This was especially true for Italy. It was facing economic turmoil when it decided to join the BRI. But over time, the outlook has changed. Many now call the BRI a debt trap, a state-backed campaign for global dominance. This again is true for Italy. 4 years have passed since Italy signed the agreement. Recently, the Italian defense minister, Guido Crosetto, called it an improvised and atrocious act. Earlier in May, Italian PM Giorgia Meloni called it a big mistake. This weekend, Italian Foreign Minister Antonio Tajani also agreed, only in a more diplomatic way. He said the plan didn't bring expected results, and now he's in China. As the most senior Italian official to visit the country since the pandemic, it's obvious that the BRI is likely top of the agenda. After all, Italy's anti-BRI sentiment could be actionable any time now. The agreement will expire in December this year. Italy does not plan to renew it. And this isn't too shocking. Since Italy joined the BRI, its exports to China increased from $15.6 billion to $19.9 billion. But Chinese exports to Italy grew much more dramatically. No prizes for guessing who really benefited. Now let's look at investments. China has invested $24 billion in Italy since 2005, but only $1.83 billion of that since Italy joined the BRI. Clearly, joining the BRI did not do Italy much good. If Italy does pull out of the BRI, it will be a big blow to Xi's crown jewel, especially as the scheme is already struggling. Under the BRI, China's lending began slipping before 2020. When the pandemic hit, this was only accelerated. Yet a lot of projects continued, and Beijing had little control over things on the ground. In recent years, there have been an increasing number of reports. They talk about BRI construction failures, project cancellations by BRI partner countries, or by Chinese companies due to financial problems. Sometimes BRI projects lead to nowhere, quite literally. Like a BRI-funded railway, it ends in the middle of a field in Kenya. On top of this, for many countries, taking loans has become unsustainable. One of the biggest examples is Sri Lanka. It defaulted on a mountain of debt last year. Or look at Pakistan. It owes nearly 1/3 of its foreign debt to China. Now, Zambia is debt-laden and trying to work out a restructuring plan with China, which is its biggest bilateral creditor. There is growing outrage over the BRI. While for some countries the reasons are economic, for others they are political. European countries view China as a rival. To them, China isn't a partner, even if it pretends to be one, and an Italian withdrawal reflects this outlook. So, whatever be the reason, China's BRI is being pushed away. But Beijing is sticking to its preferred state, that of being in denial. After all, it's China's passion project that builds inroads to its visionary goal of overseas control. But if Italy backs out of the agreement, it will be a body blow to Beijing's ambitions, whether it admits it or not.